All right, Elon announced last night that he's yes, formally separating his temporary government special government employee status will end on Friday. Some have reported that last night he began his exit interviews. I'm not really sure why he needs that, but whatever. Lots we could say backward looking about Doge and his performance. New York Times has a very gossipy piece, five byline piece about the relationship between Trump and Musk. And one thing they say in the piece is that Musk promised to give like 100 or 150 million dollars to support the midterms, and he's not written the check yet. So, Dan, what role would you imagine Musk will play going forward for Team Trump writ large now after he departs?
It's a great question, Mark. I really wonder what he does because I read the leaking that he tried to intervene in the OpenAI Abu Dhabi deal. I took, Sean, curious your thoughts, as a little bit of the White House firing a shot across the bow.
Yep.
That you think your reputation's taking a hit now, you keep this up, and we will come at you. And the fact that Musk has now been quiet, he did not respond to that so far online. His allies in the media and the kind of X universe have not responded. I will be curious if he stays on the team because it's in his long-term interest to have the president as an ally, or if he turns on him. I really, and I also think you got to watch what happens with Doge because I keep saying this. I don't believe Congress believes in this at all. I think they're going to completely undo it. And does he get frustrated with them? And does like everyone move on? Or does this continue to linger as an issue?
I think
Sean?
that the nice thing about, at least it gives me comfort on the overall issue, is that Russ Vought is OMB director because Russ has spent years thinking about the construct of this. And so, but I'll make five quick points. One is I think Elon learned the hard way that you can't, I always said when I was in the White House, I was press secretary and communications director, and it's a way too long of a story to go into, but you can't hold two major jobs at one time. He was trying to lead this government effort, which was a Herculean task, and run massive other outside companies. I mean, he runs SpaceX, Tesla, Starlink, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just too much. And so I think one, he heads back to his day job. So to answer your question, we might see him at a couple events here and there. Two, he's already telegraphed. I think he's getting out of the political game, and that's tied to number one. Like he doesn't like the reputation that he's gotten. He doesn't like the consequences of politics, and he's spent enough money and I don't get the sense that he feels like it's worth the squeeze anymore. So I don't think that check's ever coming. Three, I think we learned the power of the swamp, right? If anyone could do this, it was Elon. We talked yesterday about Dr. Patrick Shushing. I had a very long conversation with him 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, about why we're not solving cancer. And a lot of it has to do with the swamp. And this is just another extension of that. The swamp, when I talked to the president, when talked to some of these folks, the dream was in excess of $1 trillion. The swamp knows how to fight, and I'm very proud of what Elon did. Just to be clear, I think we needed this dialogue to talk about the excessive bloating and ineffectiveness of so many areas in the federal government. Four, I'm actually fascinated by his status as a special government employee, right? I thought he'd blow right through this using like the sort of Anita Dunn model. And I know that that's an in the weeds thing, but for him to just walk away, because I have had this conversation with a lot of people in the White House about a lot of people that are SGEs, which limits the number of days that you can serve in the White House, but gives you both a lack of necessity to do a full
Transparency is the word.
transparency with your assets, and two, allows you to maintain outside interest. And I know that's a total in the weeds thing, but I thought these guys were going to blow through that, and Elon adhering to it undermines that argument. And the last thing I would just say is this goes back to my swamp point. Doge will still exist, but when there was a great Bill Barr story from the first term where somebody got sent over to be like a liaison to the Department of Justice, and they came in and started demanding stuff. And Bill Barr looked over and said to someone in his, senior suite of offices, deactivate their ID. And it was like bing. And I just have a feeling that when you have Elon as your top cover, you can get a lot of stuff done. When you go knocking on the door and say, "Hi, my name's Melvin. I'm from Doge," they're going to be like, "Great. There's a corner cubicle over there. Go sit in it and play on your phone."
Well, but
I
one of
would
the
go ahead.
I was just going to say, look, one of the great ironies here is most of the Republicans in Congress don't believe in either DOGE or the tariffs. Because the answer to undo this tariff mess is Congress just grant them the clear authority. But they don't want to do it because they don't want to cast the votes. Republicans. What's the answer for DOGE? Put it all in the budget. You're writing a budget right now. You're going to write another one after you get through reconciliation. They don't want to do it, right? So the split is Trump, kind of, I don't think really believes in this. He's not going to use a ton of capital on DOGE. He loved the headlines that they're cutting government, right? Because it's a great kind of like apple pie headline. But when push came to shove and it started getting messy, they cut bait in 30 seconds.
Yeah. I'll just say I was wrong. I thought Musk was going to stay longer. And
I do too. I mean,
yeah.
I think when the tell in that interview the other day is when he said we became everyone's whipping boy.
Yeah.
And I think Dan's right. For a while, the headlines were awesome, like uncovering all this stuff. And then when you see that people are like, yeah, okay, anyway, move on.
Yeah.
I think it was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm rooting out all this stuff and no one's acting and no one's following up. Like, that's frustrating.
Hey, did you like that conversation? Well, you can be part of the Two-Way community. Join us live for interactive conversations like no other. Go to twoway.tv. You can also watch anytime. Hit the subscribe button and watch our Two-Way clips and full episodes whenever your time allows.